Well, Jose Figueroa is a refugee from El Salvador who spent 2 years living in a Langley church fighting deportation. You might remember his story. After living in BC for more than a decade, he was ordered to leave the country in 2013 after the federal government alleged he had ties to a terrorist organization in El Salvador. He was eventually granted a deportation exemption in December of 2015, but Jose is still fighting to clear his name. He has a hearing at the Federal Court of Appeal on Thursday. Jose is also a University of Victoria law student, and he joins me in studio. Hello there.
Hi, Robin. How are you?
Very well. Thank you so much for coming in. Now, tell me about your preparations for Thursday. What will you be speaking on behalf of at your hearing on Thursday?
Well, I think that I have been preparing for this for over 2 years because I filed this application in 2014, on July 11th, 2014. And, there has been a lot that I have been learning about the provision where I applied this application for. It was a provision that allows the Minister of Foreign Affairs to issue a certificate to somebody who asks for that they are not listed persons. And basically what I saw on this certificate is an opportunity to clear my name because that's what the certificate is going to say is that I am not linked with a terrorist organization and that I am not on that list. And that will be helping me to clear my name, yes.
So clear your name just so you have it, or down the road, how would the certificate come in handy?
Well, when I do not have a Canadian citizenship yet. When I apply for citizenship, well, all of these issues are going to start revolving again. So having a certificate will actually help to speed up that process. And I think that's one of the things that I mainly want. My name has been tarnished with allegations of membership with a terrorist organization, which is not. Mm-hmm. And actually, the FMLN, the Farabundo Martin National Liberation Front, is the government of El Salvador. Canada has diplomatic relations with that country and is not and has never been a listed entity. So I think all of this, it has to do with my dignity, the dignity of the family, and the dignity of many Salvadorians that could be allegedly be found inadmissible.
So discovering this certificate, this regulation, I mean, how did you come upon it, knowing that it was an option to truly clear your name?
Well, when CBSA issued that arrest warrant and I was forced to claim sanctuary, I had a lot of time. All I had to do was to review my file, review the law. Eventually, in 2013, I found these two pieces of legislation under which you can apply for the Minister of Public Safety and also to the Minister of Foreign Affairs for these certificates. And I was looking at this and tried to find out what forms I could fill out in order to request these certificates. I couldn't find any. So I thought, well, what would the minister require in order to grant this certificate? And I drafted my own application. I submitted it to the minister. And according to the legislation, the Minister of Foreign Affairs has only 15 days to issue the certificate. And if he doesn't comply with that, actually, the minister himself is breaking the law because that is a statute in the law that mandates the minister to comply with.
So the minister has to make a decision within 15 days, not necessarily grant the certificate.
No. Actually, it has to grant the certificate within 15 days. When you look at the regulation, and it has a long name, it says, the regulations implementing the United Nations resolutions on the suppression of terrorism. Under Section 10, it clearly says, a person claiming not to be a listed person may apply to the minister for a certificate stating that the person is not a listed person. And under a subsection, it says, the minister shall, within 15 days, issue the certificate if it is established that the person is not a listed person. There are words here. When we're looking at the law, the word shall, it means it's an obligation. The minister doesn't have any other option. And if he doesn't want to comply, he has to request for an extension of time or in order to issue it.
So what happened when you submitted your own application that you drafted yourself?
Well, I provided that application. Waited 15 days. I didn't receive a response from the ministry. And then I requested what's going on this. What happened is that after the first response that I got from the Minister of Foreign Affairs, actually that's a department that were assessing this, was that they had lost my application. And so I sent them a copy of the application, and I say, okay, I will consider this as another time so that you can issue the certificate. So eventually, the minister, they submitted my application for assessing, and they even requested an extension of time to October 31st to give a reply.
2016?
No, 2014.
2014.
2014.
Okay.
And that reply never got an answer. I continue asking for that. Never get any other response. So that forced me to file a judicial review of that implied refusal.
Is that where we're at now? Is that this juncture?
Nope. I filed the judicial review, and eventually, on the middle of July 2015, a lawyer for the minister sent me a letter refusing the issuance of the certificate. And the Department of Justice used that as a way to say that my judicial review was going to be dismissed for mootness, meaning that there was a decision made, so you cannot ask to compel the minister to issue a reply.
So kind of just stamping you out, saying, no, this won't happen.
My application for judicial review was for mandamus. What mandamus is an application to compel the minister to give a reply. So I wanted a reply from the minister, and they were alleging that because there was this refusal, then my application for judicial review was not going on anymore.
Why do you think the government is so reluctant to issue this certificate to you?
Well, what I think is that they are fearful that if they grant this certificate to me, they will have to grant it to anybody who applies. There is a principle in law that, well, basically, if the judicial system has to follow a precedent. So they are fearful of setting a precedent that would allow anybody who applies for this to get a certificate.
So how confident are you that your hearing on Thursday will have a different outcome than these past correspondences with the ministry?
Well, I think that at this point, the Department of Justice that is representing the ministers, they are looking for different ways in order to try to avoid the litigation. Just today, I received a letter from the Department of Justice, or allegedly a position from the minister, changing they are seeking for costs for this proceeding. And basically what they want the federal court to do is to grant this or dismiss my application and charge me right here. The amount that they are looking for is $4,288 for failing to for this application for appeal.
Mm-hmm. So for their presence at the appeal.
If they win, I'm going to be charged with this amount according to the accounts of the Department of Justice. But then I am thinking, the minister would have just spent less than $4 if they had complied with the law in 2014. And now I have been dragged into all of this litigation that have lasted years. And on top, I have to pay for this. The minister has broken the law, and we have to be paying. That is something that is unbelievable. I don't think that is very Canadian to be happening at this point.
You have 3 kids. You have a family here. Is this worth it? Is all of this for years going through this, and the years you spent in a Langley church to ensure that you weren't deported? Has this time been worth it?
My family suffered for many years. We have been suffering, and we continue suffering the consequences of that allegation that was brought by the CBSA in 2010.
That was unfounded.
And that is unfounded. And basically, I think that at this point, we just need some stability. But that stability is not going to happen if my name is not clear. The Minister of Foreign Affairs has the capacity or the possibility to clear my name. The Minister of Public Safety also has that ability to do with the other certificate. At this point, the Minister of Public Safety has not given a reply to an application for exemption that was submitted in 2010. And I am still waiting for that reply from the Minister of Public Safety.
Jose, thank you for sharing your story, and best of luck.
Yeah, thank you, Robin. And I just want to make a call to the community to show their solidarity and accompany me during the time and on Thursday. That is very important, and that gets me into working harder to achieve justice in Canada.
All right. Jose, thank you. Jose Figueroa is originally from El Salvador. He's also a University of Victoria law student.